Welcome to the AT&T Girl League recap show with your host, Jordan Carothers.
Hello, I'm your fearless leader, Mr. Jordan Carothers, and welcome to the Week 6 recap of the AT&T Girl Fantasy Football League, starring me, of course. Guys, this is the first time I've ever plugged my earbuds in directly to my microphone. Usually I just do it right in the laptop, but guys, I can hear the entire universe around me with it plugged into this microphone. I can literally hear my dog walking on the floor downstairs. This is incredible. It's opened up a whole new world for me. But anyway, I know why you guys are here. You're here because you want to hear about Week 6 in the AT&T Girl Fantasy Football League, so let's get right on into it.
Football!
So we are going to start it off, of course, with my own matchup, Mr. Mauve Avenger. I'm so sorry. So sorry to do this to you, Derek. My good old cousin easy Breecey Derek Fink, he got his ass kicked. And we'll talk about that a little bit later now, won't we, Derek? So yeah, 226.02 to 172.65. It was a molly-whopping. It was a whipping. It was a whooping. Call it what you want. I won by a lot of points. And that was thanks in part to Mr. Tyreek Hill. You just can't stop him. 163 yards and a touchdown. Also, big shout out to my man Cooper Kupp. Welcome back with 28.8 points. And when these single-digit games from Nakua and Devontae Adams, typically those wide receivers are what I count on. But, yeah, I'll still take the win. That's okay. On Derek's side, his quarterbacks just aren't stepping it up the way you'd expect them to whenever you have both Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen. It kind of feels like both of them are kind of just a step behind where they typically would be. And he didn't get a whole lot of help outside of that either. He had Breece Hall with a good game, not like an incredible game. Like a 20-point game, you'll still definitely take that. But he got a lot of single-digit guys in there this week with DeAndre Hopkins and Odell Beckham and Kenny Gainwell, George Kittle, Gus Edwards, JSN, San Francisco defense, Jordan Poyer, Aiden Hutchinson. I don't even know what's Franklin's first name. I don't even remember what his first name is. The linebacker from the Colts. We all know the Colts, right? Of course we do. I won the matchup. On to the next matchup. Mr. Ryan Murphy, Tuafinity and beyond, taking on Mr. Cordell, Cousins Digg my Chubb, and Cordell walks away with the win in this one, going up to 4-2, taking down a former champion. Murphy was the champion before, right? Wasn't he? Or am I imagining that? I don't know. Screw it. But anyway, Cordell wins 234.24 to 187.88. Now I'm really wondering, was Murphy a champion? Did he win before? Or am I just making this up? So Cordell had a good game from Stephon Diggs, super solid, and very even numbers with 10 for 100. Drake London, who it looks like Atlanta may have finally realized that they're allowed to throw the football forward now. This isn't like the 30s or whatever I don't fucking know. But good game from him with 125 yards. Kyron Williams, hopefully he's back from his injury before too long because he broke out with 158 rushing yards. And on Murphy's side, he had Tua. He always has Tua to fall back on. You can always count on him to chuck it up to Tyreek Hill, 32.48 points. And some 20-plussers from A.J. Brown and Michael Pittman, of all people, who's going to get hyper-targeted with Gardner Minshew under center, which is going to be the case for the rest of the season. So congratulations to Cordell. Next matchup is Deshaun, don't touch down there, Mr. Jake Maury versus Discount Double Check Downs. That's DV, and DV is 1-5. Ooh, okay. He's usually, I think he has the best overall record in this league's history, and it's not looking so hot this season. Mr. Jake Maury with a high point total, 245. Jared Goff, a respectable game, almost 30 points. Amon-Ra St. Brown, his wide receiver, with 30 points. ETN and Travis Kelce both over 20. And on DV's side, Jalen Hurts, 25.9, respectable. Few single-digit guys in there. Devonta Smith, his wide receiver. Which Williams is this? This is Javonte Williams with only 7 points. Cole Kmet taking a step back again, 2.9. And Deebo Samuel cannot stay on a football field. Congratulations, Mr. Maury. Last matchup of Week 6, we have a pretty close one, our closest one of the week. Bijan Mostert, Mr. Josh, Mr. trying to take first place back from Jordan, beating I'm 12 and what is this, Mr. Scott Snyder. 4-2 for Josh, 2-4 for Scott. I don't know why I'm saying these records now. If I'm going to go over the standings later, we're just going to pretend I didn't. Never mind. So on Josh's side, Raheem the Dream Mostert is finding the fountain of youth here because he popped off for 115 rushing yards on only 17 carries and 2 touchdowns and 3 catches for a receiving touchdown as well. That Miami offense, man, I'm telling you, it is one of the craziest things I've ever seen since I started watching football. A few other good games, a lot of single digit point games, which you never like to see, but still got away with the win. Scott's side, no one. Okay, Thielen. Thielen was great, but besides for him, nobody blew you away. Thielen was 115 yards on 11 receptions, putting in that old man strength in this game. Thielen and Mostert popping off. Their combined age, if I'm not mistaken, is 64. And they were the stars of this matchup. But that's going to wrap it up for week 6. So let's move on to the week 7 look ahead.
Football!
First matchup, the Mauve Avenger, Mr. Jordan Carothers, the handsomest man in all fantasy football, taking on Deshaun. Don't be a pussy and just play football, Mr. Jake Mowry. I'm at 5-1, Jake's at 3-3, and as always, I will not make a projection here for myself, but I am projected to win by Yahoo by 5 points, 215 to 210. As always, I'm leaning on the strength of my wide receivers, but I'm nervous about Davante Adams here. I'm nervous because he's very clearly injured. His quarterback is very clearly injured, and I don't think we're gonna get those typical Davante Adams numbers. I just don't. And now I lost Justin Fields for who knows how long, and we got to roll with Mr. Let's Ride, Russell Wilson, Mr. Dangerous, Mr. Go Sell Some More Fucking Subway Sandwiches, and Geno Smith at quarterback. And I'm rolling with that Indianapolis court running back, man. Zach Moss and Jonathan Taylor, you're both getting in there. Screw it. Take me to a victory. On Jake's side, he's got Goff and Howe. Addison, I love Addison now that Jay Jets is out for who knows how long. But I think he's going to be a target hog as we go forward. And speaking of target hogs, of course, he's got Amon-Ra St. Brown, and he's got Travis Kelce. Rashee Rice, I think, is sneaky for Jake. I think Rashee Rice is going to be pretty good for the rest of this season. But we're going to move on to the next matchup. That's going to be Discount Double Check Downs DV, projected to beat Tuafinity and Beyond Ryan Murphy by about 19 points, 219 to 200. Okay, I said about 19, and then I said exactly 19. It's 219.58 to 200.95. So it's very close. Very close to 19. But anyway, DV, favored to win, and he needs it. He's 1-5. If he doesn't win, I wonder if it's time to pack it up. I do fully believe that you can have a record that bad and come back from it, but we're getting a little too deep into the season here, so I think he's going to need that win. And he's going to do it on the back of Jalen Hurts, and he needs Devontae Smith to get it together here. It looks like Devontae Smith is a little banged up. I don't know exactly how bad. I didn't look into the injury. He needs Barkley to get that ankle right. He played last week, but I don't know if he's fully back yet. So he's going to have to rely on guys like that and Jalen Waddle. And Terry McLaurin, I think he's hit or miss. He also has DJ Moore at wide receiver, who's going to take probably a bit of a step back without Justin Fields. So we'll see what happens there. On Murphy's side, he's always got Tua. As I just said a little bit ago, he always has Tua to fall back on. Pittman, as I once again just said, I think Pittman's going to be a target machine with Gardner and at quarterback. Chris Godwin, Christian Watson, A.J. Brown, pretty tough wide receivers. I like it. As for running back, I only really like one of his 3. Ford's iffy. He's going to lose touches to Hunt. Harris has not been a great fantasy running back lately, but he has Josh Jacobs, and I like that, especially if they're playing their backup quarterback. Overall, though, you know what? I'm just going to give it to Murphy here because those injuries on DV's side scare me. I don't know how much I trust Devontae Smith and Saquon Barkley to be healthy. And he has McCaffrey, who's also banged up. I didn't even mention that. He's got Deebo Samuel who's banged up. I think the injuries might take DV down, but we'll see. He is projected to win. Next matchup, though, is going to be easy Breecey, the winner of the Derrick Bowl, the first Derrick Bowl of the season, versus I'm 12, and what is this, Scott Snyder, and we got a hella close projection from Yahoo here, 198.01 to 196.78 in favor of Mr. Scott Snyder, who has Trevor Lawrence, who is dealing with an injury himself. I believe it's a knee bruise, if I'm not mistaken. He's got Deontay Johnson coming back off of IR, so that's going to be a little boost he might need. Is that Wan'Dale Robinson? He's playing Wan'Dale Robinson. Okay, I don't hate it. Currently, he has David Montgomery in his lineup. I don't think Montgomery's playing. I think most people think he's not going to play. I could be wrong, but and Eckler coming back. He looked a little rusty last week on his way back, but I mean, it's Austin Eckler. It's awesome, excellent. We know what he's going to do. I think he's going to be just fine. On Derek's side, he has quarterbacks Mahomes and Allen, who, as I said, I think are underperforming a little bit. They can step it up at any time, though. You never know. Allen's got New England, which is not great. Mahomes has the Chargers, which is great because they allow the most passing yards in the league last time I checked, and that's not pretty. Wide receiver, I'm iffy about him starting Beckham, and Pickens has been good, but it's sometimes hard to trust that offense. I don't know who he has on his bench. If he has someone better than Beckham, I do not like Beckham playing at all, but you gotta do what you gotta do, I think, sometimes. Stevenson came back. Ramondre Stevenson came back a little bit last week. Let's see if he can keep that going. He's got Kareem Hunt, Jalen Warren, whatever. He's got some guys that you don't want to start unless you have to. So I'm just gonna give it to Scott here. It's such a close projection. I think Deontay coming back is gonna help him out a lot at the wide receiver position. He's gonna need Trevor Lawrence to be good at that knee bruise, though. We're just gonna pretend that Trevor Lawrence is gonna be just fine. But that will take us to our final matchup of week 7, and that is another very close one. Cordell Cousins Digg my Chubb, 207.35 projection against the 205.41 projection for Mr. Bijan Mostert. Josh, on Cordell's side, he has Stephon Diggs. This looks like it could be maybe Diggs' best year with the Bills, which is saying something considering Josh Allen has taken a bit of a step back, it looks like. If Olave is okay from that toe injury, he can be deadly. Ridley and London is stepping up now, and Swift at running back has been great. I didn't think he would be. He has been. I can kind of say the same for Ken Walker. He's been great. Brian Robinson. I gotta make sure it's the right B. Robinson. Brian Robinson, not Bijan Robinson. And he has Ingram. Jacoby Myers is another one. Cordell just loading his team up with guys I didn't think would be all that great, who have been great. And on Josh's side, he has Lamar and Herbert. That's a great quarterback stack. Herbert stacked with Keenan Allen at wide receiver. Mike Evans, bit of a down week last week, but I think he'll get it back together again. Currently has Zay Jones in his lineup, who is rolled out, so he's going to be taking him out at some point. So, okay, that is going to change the projection. I didn't notice that whenever I said it. Let's take a look at Josh's bench. Currently, his only wide receiver he can put in that spot is Mooney from the Bears, and I don't love that. He might look at the waiver wire. We'll see what happens there. And he's got the other B. Robinson. There we go. There's Bijan and Raheem Mostert, Mr. I think probably still number 1 running back on the season. Zeke Elliott, interesting. Goddard. You know what? Now that I look at the fact that he has a projection of 0 points at one of his wide receiver spots, I was leaning Cordell. I'm gonna switch it around and say Josh, even though I want Josh to lose because I'm trying to stay in first place here. But anyway, let's move on to the interview for the week. Back with the interviews again. I know it's been a few weeks. Everybody say hello to Mr. Derek Fink.
Football.
Here with Mr. Derek Fink for the first time on the recap show. How you feeling today, I would say my friend, but my cousin. How you feeling, my dude?
I'm good. My fantasy team's a little different, but good.
This league's not always very friendly to you, is it?
That's not a exaggeration of the truth right there.
I mean, we'll get into this a little bit here. I'm just gonna get right into it here. First question here. Who did you play in this past week's matchup?
I don't know. Some dude that's leading the league. He's kind of an asshole. I don't remember his name.
And second question, how did that go for you?
Not well.
You don't say. Thank you, sir, for keeping me in first place. I appreciate that very much.
I can only support the fam.
Oh man, you got to do it. I love it. I love it. So, okay, real question here. So, what were your thoughts when Justin Jefferson went down and got added to IR with your extensive injury history in this league, and also the whispers that there's a potential he might not even return this season?
Yeah, I don't have words. It's every year. It's like I finally get lucky, get the first pick, take J. Joe's, and I don't know, man. It's Spencer Ware and Julian Edelman 1 year, the day after the draft or during the draft. I guess should took CMC. I guess it's my fault, but
I think my favorite one from your history is Andrew Luck.
Yeah, that was the worst one.
Because he didn't even get hurt. You just drafted him and he retired.
Dude, just Dude just said, "Yeah, I ain't getting drafted by this bum. I'm out."
Oh, Derek Fink, gross. I don't want to play for him. I'd mimic his voice, but I can't. I don't know if I can do it. His weird little caveman voice. I need more of a neck
concussions.
I need more concussions and more of a neck beard for Andrew Luck here. What else? Did you have any other ones, or was it just, I know there was Ware and Edelman and Andrew Luck. Did you have any other like really bad ones that I'm not thinking of?
Not that I know off the top of my head, but that there definitely could be more. I'm not exactly sure.
Do you think that Jefferson will play again this year? If you had to just say yes or no, you think no? You think he's shut down?
I think he's done.
Okay. I think I only have him in like 1 or 2, so I think I can survive it. Do you have him in any other ones, or is this it?
No, that's it, thankfully. But I think they might pull the old tank for Caleb Williams here.
You think so?
BS going on, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, we saw all the Caleb Williams news from today, right?
Yeah.
For anyone who has not seen, this man is saying whoever drafts him, he wants part ownership in the team.
Which is wild, because like if he's a bust, like he's just gonna get ownership in the team.
Exactly. That's the thought. Like, yeah, he's supposed to be this like generational talent, but what if he does bust? And what if he gets drafted by the Vikings? He gets part ownership in the team, and he's terrible.
Unreal.
And he's just part owner as like a third stringer.
I don't even know how you can like ask for that. Like, how do you just go into the draft and say, "Yeah, don't draft me unless you're going to give me some of the team"? Like, what?
Man is making crazy demands because he said he was only willing to play for 5 separate teams as well, didn't he?
Yeah, I don't get it. But...
I don't know, man. It's something. But I'm still hoping to get the number 1 pick in my dynasty league, so I can take him anyway. But screw it, we'll see what happens here. All right, next question. Who is your favorite cousin?
You. I'll give it to you. We went down a little bit with that whooping that you gave me in fantasy last week, but
am I supposed to just bench my players? What am I supposed to do in this situation?
Yeah, I'm trying to get out of the bottom like 1 or 2 teams.
I'm trying to stay at number 1. We all got a mission here to accomplish, my friend.
Listen, I could have bought your pizzas. I could have bought your pizzas at Zach's for like a couple weeks, and then we could have talked about it.
$7. I don't need you to buy them for me.
All right. Well, the ranch is the same price as the pizza. So.
They don't charge me for the ranch because they know me, okay? For anyone who doesn't go to Zach's with me, they give me a literal soup bowl of it, and they don't even charge me because I go there so damn much.
Hey, keep that on the low. It's going to be on YouTube now. You might get some people in trouble.
I mean, what? They charged me like $5 for it. I just made that up. All right, my man, got one more question for you. How does it feel knowing that you can never be the best looking man in your family?
Hey, I still got hair. That's the only upside to it here.
I still got it. I can't argue that. I got the better beard, but everyone else got the nice hair. I mean, I can't argue it, man. You got me there. I'm still more handsome though. It's okay. Anything else to add, my friend, while we're here?
I don't think so.
All right, man.
Hey, listen. I needed Josh Allen is on the trade block. For everybody in the league, Josh Allen is on the trade block. Shoot me some trades. I need to get out of the bottom here. I don't want to be wearing that unicorn T-shirt again. I've already had to do it once. I don't want to do it again.
You're going to have to find somewhere new to do it this time, too. This man's desperate. Send him some trade offers. All right, man. If that's all you got, then I think we're pretty much done here. I hope you have a good weekend, my friend. And I'll talk to you sometime soon then, my man. All right?
All right. Sounds good. I'm going to go enjoy my pretzel crust pizza.
Oh, I'm jealous. Much love, man. We'll talk to you later.
All right, man. Talk to you later.
See ya.
See ya.
Football!
Thank you, Mr. Carothers. Some damn fine journalism as always. What a professional, guys. My goodness. Anyway, we're going to move on to the awards segment for the week. One of my favorite segments. For the first award, the Best Transaction Award is going to Mr. Dr. Dalton Schultz. That will be on Josh's team. Tight end averaging 16 points per game over the last 3 games, which for a tight end that you get off the waiver wire, you can't beat that. For the weekly MVP award, we're going back to the whole top scorer of the week, at least I'm pretty sure he was, old man Raheem the Dream Mostert, once again for Josh's team. That's 35.2 points, 115 rushing yards, 3 receptions for 17 yards, 3 total touchdowns, and a 40-plus yard run, which of course is a bonus in this league. Congratulations, Mr. Raheem Mostert. You are killing it at age 31. You are still younger than me. Weekly dud of the week. I'm giving this to someone who wasn't the lowest scorer in the league, but someone who I believe was the #1 fantasy quarterback, if not coming into the week, at least the week before. He just recently was. Kirk Cousins for Cordell's team scored only 11.74 points. So you kind of have to worry at this point now. Is that Justin Jefferson injury going to sink Kirk Cousins? I don't know. We'll see. He might even get traded. We don't know. To the biggest blowout award. It's going to me, boys. Going to me over my buddy Derek here, 53.37 points. For the biggest upset award, for the first time this year, we had no upsets. All the favorites won. Congratulations to all of us. And for the worst injury award, this one was a little tougher because there were a lot of injuries this week and a lot of big names. But I decided to go with myself. I'm sorry, it's a bad award anyway. Mr. Justin Fields. And the reason I'm going with Fields over guys like McCaffrey and whoever, Kyron, is because Fields got injured early. And guys like McCaffrey and Kyron and whatnot, they actually got injured late, and they already had some pretty big games. McCaffrey had a touchdown, Kyron had 150 yards. So I went with Fields because it happened so early, and it's a dislocated thumb on his throwing hand. So he's going to probably miss time. Even when he comes back, he might still not be good with that now. Who knows? Guess we'll see. But for now, let's move on.
Football.
The Roethlisberger, the quarterback, was all fucking hug it, chug it.
Football.
And now let's look at the standings to end off this show. Oh, look who's in first place. It's me, the Mauve Avenger. 5-1, 1387 points. Still not the most overall points. That belongs to second place, Mr. Bijan Mostert, Josh's team at 4-2. Also at 4-2 is Cordell with 1320 points. We have 2 teams at 3-3. That is Deshaun, don't touch down there, Mr. Jake, and Tuafinity and beyond, Mr. Ryan Murphy. Oh, actually, Jake has, oh my goodness, I didn't notice. Jake is actually leading the league in points scored by almost exactly 1 point over Josh. I didn't realize that Jake actually took that. He had a big week this week, so I understand it, right? If I'm not mistaken, let me see here. Jake this week scored, 245 points. That put him up to most overall points. Don't forget, boys, you score the most overall points at the end of the year, you get $75. And our losing records, I'm 12 and what is this? Scott is 2-4. Easy Breecey, Derek is 2-4. And other Derek, Mr. DV, discount double check downs, is 1-5. So that will do it for this week's episode of the AT&T Girl Recap League. Thank you very much for tuning in. It's probably like 20 minutes long again. I'm sorry. It's really difficult, but I'll try to shorten some other time. All right, ready? Let's get it this time. See you next time.